If you saw me almost exactly 30 years ago, on a Friday night almost just like this, you'd see me sitting there, TV remote in my hand, sitting, and then standing, and then moving around, and then muttering to myself, and then yelling, and then taking the TV remote and smashing it down to the floor. What could make an otherwise calm, rational person behave like this? 30 years ago, it was Game 7 of the NBA championship, the deciding game to see if the New York Knicks would at last win a championship. And as I sat there and muttered and yelled, I watched John Starks shoot three-pointers for the Knicks over and over and over again. And in a close game, I watched him miss 11 consecutive shots, not make a single one. And out of the Knicks' hands is wrenched a championship. And then only 4 years later, in 1999, I can still picture Patrick Ewing, 7'2", hand outstretched with the ball only 2 feet from the basket. Doink, off the front. Home goes the Knicks. For 50 years, the Knicks have not won a championship. For 35 years, I have watched them hire the wrong people, get the wrong coaches, pick the wrong players, choose some new, cruel twist to end their season in heartbreak. And these past 5 years, to my joy, I found NBA League Pass had come to Taiwan. And now, 82 times a year, I am there watching the Knicks from my living room, sitting, standing, not throwing the remote, only Game 7. And over there, off to the side, is my wife, sitting in her office, looking at me, rolling her eyes, wondering, what is wrong with this person that I married every time the Knicks come on? Because she doesn't know it's not just a game. Some of the most important lessons in life can be learned from following the New York Knicks. And I'd like to share with you some of them tonight. The first and most unavoidable lesson that you learn about life from the Knicks is life involves suffering. It is unavoidable. Just as the tragedies that follow the New York Knicks season, so your life and my life and all of our lives will involve suffering. We will be embarrassed. We will be disappointed. We will lose a job. We will get sick. Sometimes even someone we love will die. Life involves suffering. It involves pain. Now, this may sound like a very pessimistic lesson to take from this. It is not. It is one of the most freeing, wonderful lessons I've learned in life. I used to be incredibly anxious. So anxious that I would have my immune system go crazy from the stress. So stressed that I went to therapy trying to figure out what is causing all this anxiety. And what you find in its core is anxiety and a lot of depression is a fear. Fear of something bad happening. But if you stop and you learn the lesson, you know what? It's gonna happen. You can't avoid it. Instead, you focus on seeing the negative in life, feeling it, putting yourself into it, facing it with an open eyes, and managing your way through the pain in life. And what you find when you get out the other side is the fear is gone. You no longer have to fear what may happen if you live your life knowing that that pain is just part of being human and being a New York Knicks fan. Another lesson I've learned from the Knicks is character matters a lot more than talent. Over these 35 years, I have seen the Knicks sign amazing players. They can jump, they can run, they are tall, they have incredible abilities. But they would consistently overlook character. So you end up with people that are just trying to earn their next contract. They're trying to have themselves look good in the game. And it's only the past 2 years when the Knicks signed number 11, Jalen Brunson. If you see him, he is probably the shortest guy on the court. He's also one of the slowest. But what he is he's the one who works the hardest. He's the first one to dive on the floor for the ball. He is the one who works night and day on what can I do to make everybody on my team better and draw out their strengths. And so despite having a team that's not as talented as most others, despite having literally almost half their players injured right now, they're one of only 8 teams still in the playoffs, competing for a championship, thanks to you. And that's because character matters even more than natural ability. And the final lesson before the dreaded red card comes up I want to share is I've learned to enjoy the little victories. When you know that the big victory, like a world championship, is never going to happen, you appreciate all the more the little victories. I urge you to also not only look for that long-term dream, enjoy the moment, enjoy the victory of the day, enjoy the good conversation at second round at Lester's house, enjoy the good speech, enjoy the little victories. And so these are the lessons I have learned that I wanted to share. And so I asked for you only one thing. All right, it was going to be 2, but it got down to 1, which is if you see my wife, maybe give her some assurance your husband isn't quite so crazy after all. See what I mean?